Hello, everybody. We're back here at Talk Football Live. Myself, Ayo. I've got Charles and Odogo is our guest for today. How you guys feeling? Good,
Feeling
good.
great, feeling great.
No
Club World
complaints.
Cup, we loving it.
Nice, nice. We're now at the final stage, and we have one expected team and one unexpected team in the final. We'll
Um,
get to that. We'll get to that breakdown in a second.
we'll
But
get to which is which.
as we always say, please, if you haven't yet, please click that like, share, subscribe button. Let's engage with us, leave some comments, and let's know how you're feeling about the Club World Cup. All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about what happened in the semifinals, and then we're going to look ahead to the finals as well between Chelsea and PSG. So first off, let's kick it off with the Chelsea folks. Chelsea faced off against Fluminense in the first semifinal. Chelsea won that 2-0. Charles, your thoughts on you guys making it to the final?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Um, back weeks
I like
ago.
that choice of words.
I'm sorry.
I said I like the choice of word. Impressed. But go
Very, very.
ahead.
Yeah. Weeks ago, when I was asked to predict, this was I think this knockout round of 16, and I said I chose CC to win. And of
Mm,
course, Yoni and Biodun got on me like, why didn't you pick your team? Why didn't you pick your team? And I explained to them that I'm a fan, but I'm also a realist, and I'm looking at who we are up against. At that point, we are up against Benfica, and I was saying if we beat Benfica, come back and ask me again, then I will
mm,
repredict. And of course, coincidentally, City was knocked out. Benfica, we beat Benfica. So I told them, okay, at this point, I'm picking Chelsea to make it to the final and hopefully win the competition. But the thing is, although I'm impressed, I've been I would say this: the momentum we've carried, and so far it's been rumored or it's been said that this competition is still part of 2024-2025 season. So
mhm.
I see how Chelsea carried the momentum from end of the season when we're pushing for top four in EPL to this point. Maresca figured out something, or the other way around. What he's been trying to do, the players eventually understood and figured it out, or how to implement it on the field. So
Okay.
although rumor has it the game we lost was it Flamingo in the Club World
Hmm.
Cup.
Yep.
He, he,
Yes.
he said Maresca said he experimented, which we hope he
Okay.
wouldn't do it. You understand? But there's some things that have been key to our success so far, and it's been like that for the past, let's say, the 5, 7, 8 games at the end of EPL towards this Club World Cup. The midfield three of Caicedo, Enzo, and Lavia. Sometimes if three of them are there, which because of Lavia's injuries, sometimes three of them are not available. But if we
Hmm.
have two and we get a reasonable person to partner as a third person, we most times always get a result. If we have the three of them, most times we get a good result. And that's been the engine of the team. Now, above that, there's also a cohesion that is coming from everybody understanding what they have to do on the field. And I think they've carried it from the EPL into Club World Cup.
Club World Cup. Is
Let's
it
talk about
really all three though, or is it really Caicedo?
Caicedo is the foundation, but you
Okay.
can't take away what Enzo does. Enzo's goals really. I mean, look at the last 8 games or so. Enzo had a run of form that was, and
Oh
it's the
yeah.
World Cup.
Very
Yes,
involved.
yeah. So you can't write off. Caicedo is a defensive power. Enzo
Hmm.
is attacking power in that mid three. Lavia, he does a bit of both. You understand?
Mm.
And of course, Lavia is not always fit, so sometimes risk comes into the midfield. There was a game Gusto played in the midfield. Maresca is experimenting, but he has something in mind. And I think players are finally understanding how to do those, clear those roles out. Now, another part we've talked about for the past 2 seasons is striker. Jackson doesn't finish. Jackson doesn't finish. I think we've unlocked it. I mean, the lap came and I was like, oh my god, the lap is solid. It's a classic nine. Physique. You know how to challenge defenders, all that stuff.
Mm.
But the thing is, we wanted Jackson to stay, or some people wanted Jackson to stay because
Hmm.
the lap is a little different from Jackson. Like I said, it's a classic nine. It's an in-box, poacher-like position, in-box, feed me the ball. Jackson is a hustler. He presses, he pulls back, he does beat of both. So that's why we still need Jackson. But
Yeah.
miraculously, I don't know where that came from. João Pedro landed on the table. Now, João Pedro is half and half. It's like Jackson and it's like Delap. He can do what Delap does. He's not the biggest guy, but he can hustle with defenders.
Yeah.
He can do what Jackson does. He can press. And most importantly, he can finish. So it's like a light bulb moment when João Pedro came. And to answer your question of how am I feeling with Chelsea's performance, I'm impressed, like I said, but I'm really, really impressed with the way João Pedro hit the ground running.
Oh yeah.
Now he has a
Yeah. I mean,
but the way he hit the ground running, the goals he scored in the semi-final against Fluminense. Nah. Those are not goals that everybody will score. Every striker will score. You understand? So as of right
Jackson
now,
definitely wouldn't have scored those goals if Jackson was starting.
yeah, exactly.
Those were impressive goals. As much as I hate to admit it.
This is very impressive. Coming into the summer, just to not take too much time. Coming to this summer, the one wish I had, we need a goalkeeper, we need a centre back, we need this, we need that, and attacking midfielder, all that stuff. By the way, to me, the one thing I wanted was a striker, someone to challenge Jackson for that number 9 role. We didn't just get one; we got 2. I'm super impressed. So
what happens to Jackson now? What is Jackson's future?
And it's good. I really don't care.
Healthy competition.
Because I mean, you have 3 strikers now. So does Jackson maybe start playing left wing? Maybe that's part of why you guys have let Madueke go now. So you have Jackson on the wings.
We have 3 strikers, but we have 4 competitions. And I think Jackson can play behind the striker because Kopama needs to rest sometimes. João Pedro can't play behind it. In fact, João Pedro can play like 4 positions. Behind the striker, up front, left and right. I think Jackson can do that also. We've not seen it in Chelsea, but I think he can do it. So where Maresca deploys him is really, in my opinion, I don't care where he deploys him as long as he's not up front. Anywhere but up front. If you only want to play him with defense, I really don't care. But the point is, jokes aside, Jackson can play left. Like you said, Madueke is gone now, so maybe. But now, there's a new rumor out, which I don't think is true, but I hope it's true. Rodrigo is now on the list. Yep, you heard right.
So the match, Pedro scored
Rodrigo. This came like an hour ago. So I don't know what's going to happen to Jackson, but my own is this: Jackson must not have an attitude. You've been given the number 9 position for the past 2 seasons unchallenged.
Yeah.
This is the time to buckle up and work. Don't have an attitude because I think he's going to, because it's Jackson. These guys have EPL experience. They know how to finish more than you do. So they're probably going to start. So let's see how Jackson fights for his position and let's see what happens. But honestly, I just don't want to see him up front. Okay. I don't want to see him.
I was asking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I was asking when João Pedro scored 2 goals. Who played left that day?
Neto.
Do you remember?
Neto did. Ahmad. Who played right? Nkunku played right, yeah.
So he has options on how he can switch things, basically.
Yes.
Actually, Nkunku played on the left in that game.
Right, yeah.
Neto played on the
Which I don't understand. Nkunku is like are you out? He'll be back. But Nkunku is like an enigma to me. We still don't know how to get the best out of him. So Amir Ramos is going to be sold, which is fine with me. I also think Nkunku lacks what Jackson has. Nkunku lacks that power, that driving force to hustle, to press. I don't remember tired. I don't know, maybe it's from his injuries and he's just trying to be careful, but he lacks the ability to press. And his finishing is good. It's better than Jackson's, but it's not the best in the world. So I don't really know what he's bringing to the team. So I think Nkunku would have to leave at some point. But yeah, Nkunku right now, I mean, that's ridiculous that Nkunku will play at Jackson, but hey, I'm not complaining. As long as we're winning, right? But yeah, I'll play Jackson at Nkunku for sure.
Let's get some thoughts on PSG. So I think we all watch, and I'll get your thoughts on this, Odogu. The PSG Real Madrid game. Maybe an unexpected result for a lot of people. They demolished Real Madrid like it was the Champions League final all over again. 4-0 win. What did you make of that game?
It was interesting, and I think we need to continue to put our eyes on this PSG team for a number of reasons. And I was discussing with Lumide, and I got a little greedy on that match day. To be honest, it was clear if you're looking at the track record from the way they've been playing, finishing the league, Champions League, and even till now.
Yeah,
They still looked very sharp. I'll be honest with you. The only reason why I even like hinted, say, okay. In fact, when the poll came out, I gave it to PSG. But the only
mhm,
reason why I even gave Real Madrid some conditions, and me and Olu discussed, it was a matter of okay, understand something. It's still Real Madrid. They can still come shock. This is a new manager. He's played at Madrid before. Who knows? Yeah,
mhm.
we know it's difficult. And going into that game, I started looking. So, like I said, with my discussion with Charles, right?
Yeah.
Next thing is like, okay, I'm also looking at the odds. Like, okay, well, this is a good day for a surprise, seeing that everybody and everywhere thinks this PSG team is so sharp and they're going to nail it. I
Mm.
go into that game and it's like, just like how I've been watching Chelsea for the past two games. Same thing happened within PSG, and I think that's where we're about to have the best final. The early goals and the early responses are everything. I was
Yep,
just overwhelmed just seeing the likes of whether it's Due, Ruiz, Dembele, just running into position and just doing what they do best. So honestly, it was total domination. Real Madrid, let's even hide their name for some time. But I think it was just that greed factor and me just saying, hey, this is Real Madrid. Who knows? Anything can happen. That even said, let me give Real Madrid a slight chance. But it
yeah,
was complete no competition. PSG has shown why they are the UCL Champions League winners. And I think
yep,
it's important we watch them because they're going to deliver more. We had Luis Enrico even saying it the other day, and it's what I like about their team. You're not having one person just scoring 40 goals all season or even
Yep.
in any
hmm,
Yep.
competition. It's always going to
hmm,
be a spread. So,
yeah.
and those are the type of teams I like best when it's like, okay, you can have at least 4 or 5 players that will get you double digit goals. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think what impressed me the most, I fully expected PSG to win, and I think as we're talking in the group chat, I called out the fact that Real Madrid was missing some of their key players. They were missing Den Huijsen, who I think is maybe their currently their best defender. Militao is not fully fit, who I think might even start over Rudiger when he's fit. And they were missing Trent, who they've just bought at right back. So they're missing some key players in defense. That notwithstanding, if even if those two were present, I'm still fully confident that PSG would have won. But what impressed me the most was, I think, like you said, like the hunger,
Yeah.
right? Like even when they were 2-0 up, they still kept going for it. And I think there was a point where they were even 3-0 up, and you could see Enrique on the sidelines. I think, Charles, you always say it, right? Like a lot of what teams do on the pitch comes from the manager.
Yeah. A team
And
is a
even at 3-0 up, I think I don't remember who missed the chance. There was a chance that they missed when they were 3-0 up. And you could see the anger and the frustration on Enrique's face. Like he fully expected them to still like it was almost like they were down or they were like
Yes.
searching for a winner at that point. And you can see that hunger from them on the pitch. Like they were what up 3-0 up in 15 minutes or something like that. So
20,
I mean
24
in
minutes. Yeah.
20 minutes. So I think we're going to continue to see that from PSG. And like you said, although Dembele has been key for them this season, he scored a lot of goals. I think he scored almost 30 goals or maybe more than 30 goals for them this season. But
Mm-hmm.
even when he's not there, because early on in the competition, when he wasn't fully fit, he wasn't starting games for them. And it was the same PSG game, more or less. Right.
Yep.
And now he's starting their completely different team. I think of the third goal they scored, right? He had come short towards the midfield line to receive the ball. And then he played a pass in behind to Hakimi. I don't know if you guys remember that pass.
Oh, yes, yes.
The execution, like the quality of that pass in behind, it was timed to perfection. It was delivered in such a way that Hakimi could still run across in behind the defender, but didn't take like the pass. Most players would deliver that pass out wide, and then Hakimi would like have to keep running. Hakimi could keep his run going across, so the defender didn't even have a chance to catch up with him, right? And at that point, you could see it was 3-on-1 at that point, and like it was up to them to miss to miss the goal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the final.
Yeah, that sharpness in front of goal. I think they have that deadliest instinct or look just approaching attack wise right now.
Yeah.
All right,
And I
so
mean, Courtois even had like two or three really good
major
saves,
say,
right? Like major saves, like it could have been worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me address something real quick that I said earlier about Rodrigo. So it's not Chelsea who wants Rodrigo. Sorry, that was a mistake of mine. But guess who wants Rodrigo? Guess.
Man City.
Man City,
No. PSG.
Tottenham.
PSG.
Ah,
Interesting.
Exactly.
ah,
If PSG gets Rodrigo,
ah,
It's a wrap now.
wrap. Yeah.
ah.
So I just confirmed.
That's
So PSG are challenging us now for Rodrigo. So that's going to be interesting in the next couple of days/weeks. But I was going to say something about the PSG Real Madrid game. The first two goals were defensive errors.
yeah.
Understand? But regardless, PSG would have won that game. They would have dominated that game as they did. And I think one thing that makes the some teams who are coached by or some coaches strong is called something I call a blueprint. People like Pep, people like Enrique. I think people like Flick, Ansel Flick. These are people that have won trebles. These guys come with a blueprint of how they want their teams to play.
Mhm.
So when you take out the player, you automatically plug in a new player. That's why the issue they all talk about Mbappe leaving. Did it affect PSG or not affect PSG? I think one thing that mattered is PSG. Enrique had the way he wanted to play, and I think at some point there were rumors about him challenging Mbappe that you are not a leader if you can't step up for the team and defend and track back. That was something they usually used to ash out at that point. But the point is, Enrique has the way he wants his team to play. And you mentioned something, Ayo. There was a time when Dembele was not fit and wasn't playing. Someone was there doing the job.
Yeah.
The Bacolas, the Duways, they were there doing the job. Dembele comes in, even before they got Kvaratskhelia in, who is actually my favorite PSG player, by the way. They are number 7. Kvaratskhelia is a baller. Before they got him in January, they were getting their results because they had a blueprint. So it's like a blueprint is set and you just plug and play, which goes back to the statement. A team is a reflection of the coach. The coach knows what he wants, how he wants it done, and this is what I'm putting back on Chelsea, which is what I'm saying when I say I'm seeing the way the players have been playing, the way they are delivering a certain way of a style of play because it's coming from the manager. So regardless of who comes in, Noni goes out, someone else comes in, Jackson goes out, the lab comes in. As soon as you play the way the manager instructs you to play, you will likely get results. But I'm beginning to see with Chelsea, which is why I'm impressed and I'm hopeful for the future. But yeah, PSG get Rodrigo.
I'm beginning to just jealous Luis Enrique, and I might begin to start taking shots at my friend Pep Guardiola to go and learn from Luis Enrique. Pep is not going to step up this season because that energy Luis Enrique currently has, I want that back up my team, honestly.
Yeah, but Pep I think Pep will be fine. Pep has his own blueprint too. I just think I don't know, maybe if Pep gets a Saliba like centre back, maybe that will change things. Because
I think City is going through a transitionary period. Because when I look at like I said, when I watched you guys in the Club World Cup, you still have the same struggles that I saw from last season, in that you have wingers who are not at the quality that Pep, I think, demands, right? You have Savinho, he's 21. He's good, but he's not clinical. He doesn't remind me of like Sane or like Sterling in his prime, or like who else? Bernardo Silva, sorry, not Bernardo Silva, David Silva. Players who, when you know they're in the final third, right, they're going to deliver the assist that completely changes the game, or that goal that comes out of nowhere. Like I remember the season you guys won the league after Sterling just joined. Like Sterling had so many game-winning goals, right, in the first
Sterling and
games
Sane
of
at
that
some
season.
points were killers. The
So
marriage,
I don't
marriage joined.
I don't see that from Savinho. I think will eventually get there. So he's
Yeah.
going through that development process. Doku, I don't think Doku will ever get to the point where Doku is delivering 20 goals and assists a season. I don't see it from Doku.
I'll tell you guys something. You guys, I, I'll tell you something. I say that with you sometimes, Charles. I think you guys see what goes on in the training ground because even though I'm a fan, I don't see it. I'll tell you why. Why
Mm,
I'm usually hard on Pep is so when you start with these Club World Cup games, the first one, the second one. Remember, there was one that Doku came out at least with a goal and an assist. But there's always something that changes in Pep's selection the next day. You think the
mm,
next game, you think he should keep that same consistency, but you may not see Doku. I'm like, well, this is that Doku that came in with some kind of weird flying kick. Boom, it was a goal. He also
Yeah.
had an assist. I don't know what happened in between that match and the next match, but somehow Doku doesn't show up. You may have been privy to see the report or read Pep's mannerism, say, okay, this guy may not be that consistent, even though he performed well in that match. There's
yeah.
definitely something that some light needs to be shed on. And I think somewhat it's also affecting Savinho. Because I've seen
Mm,
some managers who would at least have two clear games or three clear games where it's like, okay, I'm going to give you this chance. And then if actually from using those games I put you on, I'm not seeing those results, okay, then I can see myself changing. But
yeah.
Pep already is thinking multiple things like an algorithm, and that minutes training that happens in between that we don't see, he's already made a decision and changed the strategy.
Or maybe,
So
or maybe it's
I,
changing based on the opponent.
Yeah, I think maybe it goes back to what you're saying, Charles, right?
Yeah.
In
Blueprints.
in right in it coming from the coach. I think there are things that Pep wants to see and wants to execute. And so Henry has talked about it, right? I think
Yeah.
Henry talked about a time when he was at Barca with Pep, and he said, Pep likes his wingers to stay high and wide, and you'll see that with PSG as well. If you guys notice, like if you pay attention to what happens off the ball, if
Uh-huh.
you see where Kvaratskhelia, especially in the game against Madrid, where Kvaratskhelia and Due were, they were at the touchline, they were
Yep.
high, they were all the way at the touchline, right? And Pep likes the same things. So Henry talked about, like at Arsenal, he was used to getting involved in the play. And so he's like, he dropped deep, he picked up the ball, got involved in the play, and he scored a goal, and he was feeling good. And he said he got back to the dressing room, and Pep was upset with him and mad.
Yep.
So I think it's things like that. Like we might see the goals and we might see the assists, but Pep has tactical instructions that he expects you to follow to the T. And
Yep.
if you're not carrying it out,
It's a
yeah,
problem.
fair enough.
join somebody else on the bench. Yeah. So I think
Which
that's
which
what it
goes
is.
back to the whole blueprint statement I made earlier. Like you have 11 players and you know how every single one should play. And if every single one of them play the way you instruct them to play, they will get the results. The
Yeah.
moment one shifts, even if he scores, you've
Everything is
messed up
off.
the flow of others,
Yeah.
which is just
So
how it
let's
is.
let's look at the final. PSG Chelsea.
PSG
So
and the best team in the world.
wait till at least win the trophy first before you start to make the claims.
I know, I know.
So I think to a large extent, I would actually say the best two teams have made it to the final. I felt like PSG Madrid was the final before the final, and I've talked to you Chelsea fans about this. There was a hard side of the bracket. On one
Yeah,
side, we had PSG, we had Madrid, we had City, we had Dortmund, like we had
Bayern.
most of the European teams, we had Bayern, all on that
Actually,
same
City
side.
was on outside. City was on outside. Al Hilal beat City.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Yeah.
City was on the other side, but PSG, Madrid, Bayern, teams that were probably
Dortmund, yep.
Madrid. Those four were on the same side, tipped to likely win the Club World Cup. So on your guys' side, you guys have made it through to the final. Chelsea have played well, no doubt, and signing Joao Pedro, he seems to have hit the ground running. I don't recall him being that clinical at Brighton,
Well, he was.
but he scored 10 goals last season in the Premier League.
He was in. He had a lot of injuries last season. I'll tell you
Okay.
about Joao Pedro, but finish.
So
Go
he
ahead.
played 27 games in the league last season. I looked up the stats.
7 scored 10. Yeah. And it's Brighton. Come on. and he had
I
well played.
mean, the Labs got 12 for a relegated Ipswich. So if you're talking clinical strikers, I don't
I'll tell you
consider
why.
him a clinical striker. So yeah, go ahead.
So here's the thing: he is clinical. But
And address it from the perspective of the final. So let's focus on the final. What you're
yes,
expecting to
yes.
see
So
from
here's
him
the
in
thing:
the
João
final.
Pedro in Brighton had the likes of Welbeck, who take a lot more games, and João Pedro has an injury issue. Boy also has an attitude issue, which is what I'm wary of with João Pedro.
Mm.
He's very I don't want to use the word aggressive, but it can make or my player. Aggressive in his tackles, aggressive in his hustles, aggressive in how he strikes the ball, how he attacks the ball. This can be very good for a team, provided it's coached properly. Now, for the final, this will be needed because we're facing a solid defense, like some McPinnells at the back. We're facing one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So every single chance you get, you gotta take it. And I think that's where João Pedro comes in. I think he also has the back of his mind that he's a new guy. He has to fight for a shirt. He has to fight for a starting position. So João Pedro may not have been as clinical as you expect him to be at Brighton, but with Chelsea, he'll probably get more chances. He'll have more chances to be more clinical. Now, in the final, because he's facing PSG,
PSG.
Donnarumma, he may not get too many. You understand?
Yeah, you
But
definitely won't have the ball a lot against PSG. You know
exactly,
PSG is going to dominate the game.
dominate possession. But the good thing is he's coming off scoring 2 goals in the previous game. That's
Good confidence.
swagger
Yeah.
feeling, whatever you want to call it. He's taken into this game, and we are the underdogs. So as we all know, we are the underdogs. These guys are the European
Oh, are
champions.
you? Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come on
Oh.
now. You already called our side of the bracket the easier side. That alone makes us the underdog.
UCL versus Conference League winners.
Thank you, thank you. So the point is, I think if the whole team play with the synergy of the blueprint, like I've been saying, and this PSG gonna come with theirs also. PSG debatably have a stronger team on all aspects, from goalkeeper to defense. The midfield is where I am like, because
So,
last
question is Caicedo fit because
yes,
I
it was seen in
so he
training.
picked up an injury after the semifinal, so
Yeah,
he's back in
but
training. Okay.
but it was seen in training today.
Okay.
So how fit he is debatable, but it was seen in
Okay.
training today. That's a
Okay.
good sign.
Yeah,
So
he has a couple of days still to
yeah,
recover. So
exactly.
if he's back in training already, that's good.
So if we have the likes of Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo starting, Palmer has a good game. I think this game. I think the game is going to be maybe a 1 or 2-1 game, but I
Mm.
think there's hope in there. Now, if PSG wins, I won't be surprised because they're champions of Europe. They're killing it right now. But I think if Chelsea wins, also I also won't be surprised. Not only because I'm a
Oh,
fan, but because like I said, I've been paying attention to what Chelsea has been doing from like the last 7-8 games of the EPL season into the Club World Cup. There's a consistent style of play they've been delivering that I think can really, really get us the result.
okay. Although, let me get your perspective. Will you be surprised if Chelsea win this game? Do you think they can win this game against PSG?
I'm a risk taker. I love
Ah,
to bet responsibly in sports, and knowing the way the likes of sports book will be. If Chelsea does well, I will make some good money. So, but back to the analysis, right? I knew I was gonna catch you there.
that
So
just went left. Yeah,
now look at it this way, right? You rightly mentioned, especially PSG's lineup and their ability to take possession, just like they did with Madrid. They cornered that game. And one thing I see with both sides, which I like I said, it's going to be an entertaining game. I've watched them in their last 3 games or thereabouts, or say at least two. Early goals is one thing that I like to hear about these two sides. I see them as advantageous folks that they can easily carve out an opportunity in the first half at least, even if it's a bad first half. We should be looking at 1-1. Do you understand? And
Mhm.
before we decide the game in the second half, minimum, those two can easily pinch a goal in. I watched Chelsea the other day and I was telling Charles, I think it was against Palmeiras, I was like, your boy Palmer has come again. Right there on the score sheet. Then they sealed the game in the second half with that own goal. Same thing watching Fluminense. I just love the way they were getting into position. Somehow, Yao Pedro was found. Goal. Chelsea has that ability, just like PSG, to score an early goal. Now, although it's a little choking for Chelsea, just because of the fact that PSG's style is just dominating. However, one thing I can rely on Chelsea to do is to take their chances where possible, at least in that first half, which will give you that reassurance that, okay, these people are in the game. To be very frank, if you want to go based on possession and the way PSG threatens, you
Mm.
can say that at least PSG is edging out by like a 60% to win the game. But I like upsets, and I think Chelsea is a very, very, very fair contender in this game. It can
Mm.
also turn out in their favor if
God
somehow
forbid.
PSG is not clinical. Chelsea could just even win it. So it's a matter of one thing: who is going to take their chances? Yes, we know that PSG can choke the game with that possession, but
Amen.
you also have to look at an angle that, okay, what if Chelsea on the night is that team that just takes more chances? You know?
God forbid.
My God. Let me add one more thing, real quick. So I'm looking forward to some matchups.
Mm.
I think the first thing is, who do we start in our right back and left back positions? I hope it's going to be Reece James and Cucurella.
Is
If we
Rich
start
fit?
those
He
two
was
guys,
unfit for the semifinal.
yes, yeah, I think they're just keeping him for the final.
So Cucurella on the left, right?
Cucurella on the left to face Due, Reece James to face Kvaratskhelia. If we can do that, we are. If you put Gusto on the right, we are already in trouble. You understand? So Reece James on the right, Cucurella on the left. That already numbs a little bit Kvaratskhelia and Due. Numb them as much as
Yeah.
they can. Now the second thing is PSG are going to push forward as they usually do because they're going to have possession. The counters is where Chelsea would be successful or can be successful. Now I don't know. I know Neto is going to play left or right. I know he's going to play somewhere. So Neto is already very, very deadly. So if Neto gets on a couple of counters, PSG may be in trouble. But I need to know who's going to face Mendes. I ideally want Neto to face Mendes because I don't think there's anybody else on the team who can actually face Mendes and slightly survive. Salah didn't.
Nobody can survive against Mendes right now.
Exactly. So I think Neto is the closest. He may not survive, but he may get some crosses in. You understand? So I just need Reece on the right, Cucurella on the left, Neto on the right, attacking, facing Mendes. Or of course, anybody but Jackson up front.
Let me throw a wrench into your commentary. So now, look at the way you analyze Chelsea's left. You only mention PSG's winger, but I don't know. It might just be me noticing it. I think anybody who's playing left back for Chelsea should not just be watching out for that winger.
Of course.
Based on the way they've been playing, you have to watch out for Hakimi as well. And look at how he's been coming into position and all that. So just
Yeah,
something
but Hakimi and Due, they kind of work hand in hand. And I understand Hakimi coming to position, but Hakimi coming to position, there's part of the defensive, the mid three of Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo that would tame that. Now, Cucurella on the other hand is not a weakling. Cucurella is good. So I think he can hold.
Looks like we lost Charles. I've actually been impressed with Cucurella. You back?
Yeah, I have. I
I've
used
been
to be one of the people that really did. Say that again?
For some reason, we've lost your camera, Charles.
Oh, for real?
But I actually like Cucurella. Well, I shouldn't say I like him because I don't like anything related to Chelsea. But I think I've been impressed with Cucurella. Where I think he has to be careful is in getting sucked towards Due, because we've
Yeah.
seen that against several teams that play against PSG. They have a habit of finding space for Hakimi to get in behind teams, and that tends to be very dangerous because the left back might get sucked in infield with whoever the winger is, and Cucurella tends to do that. He will follow, he will press hard, and if he tries to do that against Due, there's a chance he might open up that space in behind for Hakimi. So I think that's one point for Chelsea to be aware of going into this game. All right,
Yeah.
let's round up. I'm just gonna take quick predictions from you guys. Odogu, hat on hand.
Okay.
Be hat in hand, hand on your chest, however you want to say it. Go out on a limb and give us a score prediction for this one.
You know what? I want to. You might call this wishful thinking, but I just want to see some entertainment. I want this to go into extra time. I can't predict extra time, but I want to predict
God forbid.
regular time and say 2-2.
Wow. Okay, 2-2. God forbid. Yes, Charles. What's your prediction?
I don't know why you're God forbidden. I agree with Dogo on one thing. Extra time. I need extra time. Just watch a little more football. I think it's gonna be 1-1 at full time. Chelsea takes it 2-1 in extra time.
God forbid. All right. My prediction, I'm gonna go with 3-1 PSG at full
In
time.
regular time, Abby.
No regular time, no extra time. That's my call.
We'll see.
All
Odogu, wait.
right.
Odogu did not call a winner. You gotta call a winner.
No, I said well okay.
Good catch. He tried
Okay,
to
I'll give it to PSG winning
Why?
in extra time.
What if I tell you whoever you pick would win? Now choose again.
You look, if you put it on that
You're my
direction,
guy.
you know me, I'm a sports book guy. I'm giving it to Chelsea. That's
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer. I'm only looking at returns. My own, I'm a high risk man. If it's that one, I'm giving it to Chelsea, but I'm still mixing my head and my heart. I learned my lesson from Real Madrid PSG game. Trust me.
Okay. Now that I
Okay.
know that two
Fair
people here are
enough,
going for Chelsea, I need to intensify my prayers. Okay.
fair enough.
Awesome. As always, it's been good hanging out with you guys talking football.
Thank
I mean, it just shows how much we love football. Two of our teams are not here, just Charles' team is here, and we're still excited, still talking about it. So
Thanks
looking
for the
forward to the
support.
final. And we'll be back. We're looking forward to the Premier League starting. Transfers are shaping up. We'll bring you guys updates on transfers next week after the Club Cup final.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have
Thanks,
a good
guys. A pleasure.